Good evening and welcome to the Fairfield Board of Education meeting for February 1st, 2024. Mrs. Lane, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Begley.
Here.
Mrs. Birding Miller.
Present.
Mr. Clark.
Present.
Mrs. Gundram.
Here.
Mr. Napier.
Here. Thank you, Mrs. Lane. We have a special treat tonight. We have some students, some high school students who are going to sing the national anthem for us. Standing, Mrs. Birding Miller, or lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, students, for performing tonight.
Great job, students. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Smith, presentations and resolutions.
Yes, Mr. Begley, members of the board, we do have two presentations scheduled this evening. Our first presentation is titled Music is All of Us. We're very excited to welcome some members of our music department this evening. At this time, I will turn it over to Teacher, Director, and Music Department Chair, Mrs. Jill Wilhelm.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I would just like to start off first by saying thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight to talk about how music is truly all of us. I also want to thank our students that performed. We had students out in the common area as the meeting was beginning to start. We had students from our symphony orchestra and our wind ensemble that were performing. And then, of course, our members of Vocal Impact gave me goosebumps to listen to their Star Spangled Banner. Just absolutely gorgeous. So I want to thank them for sharing their passion. Really have two big things that I want to share with you with this presentation tonight. One is that music is extremely important. It is essential for our students, and then I want to talk about just how music is truly all of us. So here we have just a little quote about the power of music, and I think it's very impactful, right? Through the power of music, students feel motivated to learn. They become more confident speakers, they develop analytical thinking skills, and most significantly, they discover hidden passions that give them a lifelong advantage. But actually, I think the last statement is the most important. In addition, music education is always enjoyable for both the students and the teachers. We know that our students that are involved in music become problem solvers. And it's huge. Everything that they are doing in a music rehearsal is solving a problem. They're thinking about, how do I match pitch with the person next to me? How do I do exactly what that conductor is showing me without saying any words? How do I adjust to the tempo of what other people are playing? those skills can be applied to everything else they do in their lives. We also know that music students have better attention and memory recall. It's no surprise to us that we all learned the alphabet by singing Mozart, right? Mozart wrote Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and that's how we have all learned the alphabet. I know my daughter learned how to tell me what the 50 states were by singing, you know, the 50 nifty states. I could not tell you what that song says, but she could, right? We also know that our students are academically stronger. The musicians are some of the strongest academic students that we have. And this can be seen out of the top 15 students last year, 12 of them were involved in the music program. And here's a good example. Last year, our valedictorian and our salutatorian, both music students, our valedictorian, Caden McCollum, of course, went on and decided to also major in music performance on bass clarinet. And then our salutatorian, involved in the orchestra program, also decided to continue and major in music performance on viola. Not only that, but our class president from last year, Kenta Tiagaraj, and if you were at graduation last year and you saw his speech, I think he should rule the world someday. But he clearly has built that confidence, everything else that comes with it, and I think he got a lot of those skills in the music department as well. We know that music allows students to have also a great place for social and emotional learning. We know that music improves self-esteem, gives students an opportunity to be creative and to be expressive, and allows them those opportunities to create something every day. Helps them with their mental health. Encourages creativity, like I said, and imagination. It increases confidence and develops our leaders. We know that music is a great place to foster teamwork. I always say that band and really any music class is the ultimate team sport, right? We all have to be working together in order to create something beautiful. So this collaboration takes place every day, every minute in a music class. As we're talking about that teamwork, we also see that we have teamwork in this room, right, with our other music staff, with our school board, with our community members. Music is essential. Prepares students for college and career beyond high school, prepares the brain for focused attention, supports healthy students, connects cultures and peoples of all types, and it creates a community and a place of belonging. As I was mentioning, Fairfield Music is truly all of us. Right? We've been one of the best communities for music education. That is because of all of our community. Our administrators work to support our music programs, our dedicated music staff who spend hours, countless hours during the school day, during the summer, outside of the school day, that are here this evening, our students who've performed for you this evening that spend hours upon hours upon hours involved with our music program, our parents that volunteer literally for everything, we couldn't do without them. Our Tempo Club, our parent booster organization, a strong organization that provides us with lots of support, both financially and otherwise. And it's truly all of us that makes this successful, that makes Fairfield Music successful, and makes it a showcase for our community and our school district. We've created a little bit of a video that we're going to show you here in a little bit. But before we do, we thought it would be important to kind of talk about what do we do as a music department throughout the year. So over the summer, we start. And we start with orchestra camp, we have show choir camp, we have band camp. We start with a drum corps show that we host, which is international, and we host that each year and have many people. Last year we had a sold-out crowd. And here's a couple pictures that go through each of one of these things that we do. You can see that in the fall, we also have our orchestra performs the Star Spangled Banner at a football game. We have middle school band night. There are some students at our show choir camps of America. We have fall concerts. The orchestra often gives a concert, Halloween concert. We also have choir concerts, band concerts, orchestra concerts, all the way through from all grades 6 through 12 there in the fall. In the second quarter, we continue to move on again with other concerts. Many of you might have seen our annual holiday concert that we do combined as a department, and maybe you've come up onto stage and sung the Hallelujah chorus with us. It's a good time. And then you see Grinch up there. And we also, in the second quarter, do a recruitment concert for the fifth graders to come and see what music could be like for them if they were to choose music. And that's where we really kick off our January Choose Music campaign. We want to encourage all of those students to join music. Continue with finishing the marching band season, and we have middle schools that are performing at a veterans memorial celebration. We had our marching band went to every elementary school this year and played. We have our jazz ensemble goes to a preschool in the community and plays. And then at the bottom right, we have some of our dedicated pit crew, our parents from our marching band that are always there for us for everything. Third quarter, we go on and we have honor bands. These are all of the students from Fairfield that were part of the District 13 honor band. That covers 4 counties in our state. We continue to have solo and ensemble, continuing with concerts. Show choir really starts to get kicked off. We have there Caden, that was that valedictorian that I was talking about. He was in all-state band last year, chosen as one of the best instrumentalists in the state of Ohio. We have a student performing again this year as well. And we also start to have guest conductors come in. The guest conductor who's up there kind of in the middle with the baton is actually a Fairfield graduate. That's Corey Neer. Some of you may remember him, and he is now Dr. Neer and teaches at Luther College, and he came in and worked with us just a couple weeks ago. Fourth quarter, as we continue, we have our annual Crystal Classic. We also have our musical that takes place in the fourth quarter. We have our Trium, which is Modern Music Masters. It's like National Honor Society, but for musicians. And we celebrate Music in Our Schools Month, which is in March. And they really do a good job of trying to help foster that and showcasing the music department in the month of March. And then, of course, we continue. We have the arts fair. There's the Orff Ensemble up there. We perform in the Memorial Day Parade. We have more guest conductors and clinicians come in. Graduation. And then in the bottom there, we have some of our middle schools that are performing at Kings Island Festival. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea of the things that we do over the course of the year. So we have a little video that we would like to share with you as well.
fundamental building block for students to develop high academic performance, literacy, and numeracy through boosting school attendance and creating school and community pride. Music improves self-esteem and self-expression by inspiring creativity and imagination, which increases confidence and builds leadership skills. Music crosses cultural and social boundaries, encouraging learning and analytical thinking skills, leading to lifelong success. Neuroscientists have found evidence that learning to play an instrument may be good for the brain, enhancing memorization skills. Music is a powerful force in everyone's life. Musically trained children perform better at attention and memory recall, and have greater activation in brain regions related to attention control and executive functions associated with improved reading, higher resilience, greater creativity, and a better quality of life. Music education teaches students engagement and resourcefulness in studying, completing projects, public speaking, performance, and collaborating as a team. From math to science to history, skills learned through music allow students to create a community allowing positive communication with others from different cultures and traditions via active listening, respectfulness, and conflict resolution. These skills also help children learn how to overcome challenges and stress from school-related pressure.
I think music is really important because it teaches you things not just about music, but it teaches you how to be a better person, and it just is a good environment to be in, and I recommend it to anybody.
Joining the music program has opened many different opportunities for relieving stress for me, while also opening many pathways for my future, allowing me to chase any dream that I want to achieve.
The importance of music is more than just a personal thing. It's more than just getting credits to graduate. It's more than another class between your academic classes. It's a way to connect with others. It's a way to process your emotions. It's a way to build relationships.
Music evokes images and emotions that stimulate imagination in children. Using their creativity, students can improvise solos or create their own compositions while demonstrating their abilities to solve problems and handle complex situations. Performing in choirs, bands, and orchestras in front of an audience boosts students' self-confidence and instills techniques for overcoming anxiety and fear. Music education has a profound impact on the development of children and the benefits go far beyond classroom experiences. Music can also be especially influential in helping students with special needs adapt to their daily obstacles.
I choose music because you get to sing and dance.
I choose choir because it is part of my heritage.
I choose music because sometimes music is supposed to be something.
I choose music because it's given me something to work towards, and I have made good friends in that.
I chose music because it's calming to me and I just love the sound.
I choose music because I like to play the trumpet. My favorite thing is about music class is I like singing. I always sing in the car, and it's fun. I chose music because the first time I played on an instrument, it changed my life.
I choose music because of all the adventures and opportunities they give.
I choose music because it's fun, educating, and exciting.
I choose music because of the relationships I need to build with teachers and friends.
I choose music because it allows me to express myself and make friends.
I choose music because it teaches skills like leadership and community.
I choose music because it's made me express myself more and more open-minded.
I choose music because seeing my growth with other musicians is shaping my music.
I choose music because the musical song.
I choose music because it feels like staying home.
I choose music because it makes me feel connected to my childhood and community.
I choose music because it has taught me proper leadership skills and given me a community where I feel welcome. I choose music because we lift each other up like community.
I'm really excited for middle school next year because there's something called show choir and I like to dance and sing at the same time. I choose music because it makes me feel good.
I choose music because of the relationships that it's allowed me to nurture.
I choose choir because I love music. I choose music because it's helped me in my life and helped me figure out who I am.
I choose music because it helps me step out of my comfort zone and talk to more people.
I choose choir because it's a safe space and I know people care about me. I choose choir because it's a comfort for me and I'm connected with people through it. I choose music because I have like kids. I choose choir because it makes me want to wake up in the morning and go to school. I choose music because it helps me learn. I choose music because it makes me more confident.
I choose choir because I like the teacher and the class. It's really fun.
I choose music because I love it. I choose music so I can learn more about it and express myself through it.
I choose music because it is beautiful. I choose music because I can play on the guitar.
Choose music because I like playing instruments. I choose music because it's fun.
We choose music because we get to be together.
As Bono said, music changes people. The Fairfield Music Department cultivates a love of music that teaches students valuable life lessons and people skills, allowing them to thrive and develop as individuals. Music brings us together, helping us reflect upon who we are, where we have come from, and what lies ahead. The arts and music transcend languages, cultures, and borders, and helps exchange ideas and styles and share in the artistic vibrancy born from diverse experiences and traditions. Former President Barack Obama. is all of us.
We just wanted to say one more time, thank you again for letting us be here. We also have... Yes. We also just have a shirt for each of you so that you can wear it with pride and remember that music is all of us.
Well, she's passing those out. Any comments from the board?
I'll go first. Ms. Wilhelm, a couple things. One, how do you remember all those handshakes? That was incredible.
That's a great question. I don't know. I just associated with the student, and I let them lead.
That's awesome. That is fantastic. That is impressive in itself. But, and then, sports are always what you hear about from schools, but we have such a great music program. So thank you for this presentation. Amazing. Thank you for leading the choir and the kids and who's in here today and out in the hallway. But just seeing them, the passion they have, and I wish I could repeat everything they said they have, but education, emotion, expression, that is all through music. And you said it best when you said it brings kind of like a team together, and it does, because if everybody didn't come together, it sounds horrible. It sounds like me and Brian playing, and that's not good. And I've always wanted to play instruments. I tried to play the guitar when I was younger, and the trombone, and the piano even, and it was not good at all. My father, he could pick up any instrument and play just by ear. So I was always kind of jealous. I can't even play the radio. That's how bad it is. But this is amazing. Thank you so much for this, and the students are just incredible. So thank you to the students. Thank you to the teachers that partake in their education for that. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well put, Mr. Clark. Anyone else?
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing this, and to all the students who performed here tonight. It was beautiful out in the hallway and beautiful in here. It's amazing how much music can just change your outlook in a minute. Like on my way here, I was kind of stressed and just kind of low energy, and a song came on the radio, and I was like, all of a sudden I bebopping along, and then I'm singing along, and then I'm not in such a bad mood. Then I walk in, and the orchestra starts playing, and I felt like royalty for like half a second. So, it's amazing how much it can just change your mindset and change your mood and turn things around. So thank you so much for sharing it with us all the time, and especially tonight. And I think I already know the answer to this, but if there are any parents or kids that watch this later, is it ever too old? Are they ever too old to join and learn an instrument?
No, never
Okay.
too old.
All right.
Never too old.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for all you do. I went to show choir here on Saturday, January 20th, my first time ever, because I'm more of a sports guy. But watching the Cavaliers Rhythm Express, Pure Elegance, it was amazing. The work they put in to get all their steps down and everything, it's a lot harder than football. So I just want to thank you for all you guys do.
Thank you.
I want to thank you also. You and I have a very special relationship because I am a band kid who went through the Fairfield system, so I'm getting emotional. Music was such a epitome, such a community for me in high school and middle school, and it gave me a way to express my emotions, and as we all know, I have big emotions. So it gave me an outlet for all of that, and it gave me a community when I didn't have a community anywhere else. And through the hardest years of our lives, when we're struggling with hormones and other kids and who are also struggling with their own battles. And so music is such an important part of our lives, and such amazing that we can provide that for students and kids of all ages to have that outlet and bring that home and that community to them. And I just want to thank the whole music program because you guys do amazing work every day. And I'm so glad that our students were here to perform, and I'm so thankful that they're able to participate in the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think you have the support of the board. I too got a chance to be there for First Look, and that was amazing. Well done. Best of luck to you with the season. The musicians out there tonight were wonderful. This is a great presentation. In the presentation, it talked about culture here, and I think that's true. We talk a lot about culture, and it is part of who we are, and it's an identifier, I think, for the district, right? We've had great success from the World Choir Championships in 2012 to the successful bands, and on it goes. So thank you for all that you do. How long have you been here serving the district?
Okay, this is, I think, my 22nd year at Deerfield.
That's great.
Thanks, but we always say we have the best jobs in the world, and we truly mean that, because the students are incredible, and we love working with the students, but I have a great team, too, that I get to work with every day, and clearly, they're here, too, right now, and the team is literally all of us, right? So we're very blessed to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelm, and to your team.
you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the T-shirts as well. Wear them with pride.
Just a reminder, tomorrow is Go Red Day, so it'd be the perfect day to wear this. Go Red Day.
Go Red? Okay.
For the American Heart Association.
Oh, yeah, right, okay, that's right.
Watch tomorrow.
Our next presentation, Mr. Smith.
I've seen it anyway.
Set the timer, Bill.
I got the clicker.
All right, first of all, I know all of you are dying about how long this is going to last. That's all I hear about. But before we even get to that part, I don't know that I set myself up for success this evening by following that presentation. That was amazing, and actually I think I will mention kind of a little bit of background this evening as to why we had that presentation. So in the past, obviously I'm excited to present the State of the District presentation. In the past, I think at one time it was maybe an hour, 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes. I reduced it down to 1 hour. And last year, 30 minutes, but I was literally speed talking last year. So I worked really hard to try to cut some of the presentation out, cut it back to hope. I don't know how long we'll be here, but I worked really hard and just sharing the highlights, trying to narrow those down because I had to pick and choose, because otherwise we would be here for an hour or so. And so without further ado, let's jump right in. Nancy is going to be the clicker over here this evening. She does like to speed things along, so she might get 7 or 8 slides ahead of me. So we'll start. I called this FCSD in a flash because that's kind of what it feels like. So we'll jump right into our first slide, Back to School Bash. See, she's already getting ahead. So I can't imagine a better way to start off this presentation than sharing these pictures. So if you ask me for one event that defines us as a school district and community, this would be it. And for those of you that have been there, for 3 hours, our students, staff, and volunteers come together for one reason, and that is to serve our students and our families. We did this for the first time. I don't know if it was 2016 or 2017. I'll never forget saying to the CDA, it kind of came from that group. Don't be upset if we don't have a lot of people here, because it's very common for that to happen. People plan an event, and it just has grown every single year. It's amazing. This past year, we gave away close to 1,000 backpacks. So. That's a great way to start the year. We're looking forward to August in a few months. So up next, Back to School PD. Again, the average person has no idea how much work is involved and how many people are involved to make sure that we get off to a great start for the school year. This was before the school year started. You can see some of our educational assistants, educational support assistants, and latchkey assistants receiving training before the students even arrive. Up next, one of my favorites, opening day, that's what we call it here. We welcome all of our students, or all of our staff members back. We recognize our Teacher of the Year, our Support Staff Member of the Year. This year, we were very blessed to have a guest speaker, Mr. Teddy Kramer from the Cincinnati Reds, who was phenomenal. And then up next, we have Back to School. Again, I say I have a lot of favorites, but this day when the kids actually return to the buildings, that's when our buildings come back to life. By the time that gets here, we're in a way, we're exhausted to get to that day because everyone's working so hard to make sure everything is just right and perfect for our kids when they come back. Up next, Field of Flags. Each year we honor our veterans. This year, Assistant Principal Becky Salyers partnered with the Disabled American Veterans to raise money for veterans. So for each $10 donation, a flag was placed on the campus for all to see, and that was on November 6th. Up next, we have the Mental Health Awareness Game. So our trainer, Brad Frazier, the week of August 28th, kicked off the school's mental health game series. Participants included women's soccer, women's volleyball, varsity football, and men's soccer. They were raising awareness about the 988 suicide and crisis hotline and partnered with organizations that support mental health. Those organizations were at our games that week and shared mental health resources with anyone in attendance. Up next, we have a shout out to Robin Anderson, a $600 grant. She's an EA at the Academy. She was awarded this grant to develop a garden on the grounds of the Academy, which she believes will provide students with a social and emotional learning opportunity that will teach them to grow plants, vegetables, and fruit. Up next, we have Caden Cummings, who sets up a lemonade stand every year to raise money to purchase school supplies for classmates. This year, he raised $2,700, which brings his 4-year total to over $6,000. So well done, Caden. Up next, spotlight on our FCSD SRO program. We were excited to educate our board and our community about the importance of our SRO program. I know that a lot of people think about safety and security when they think about school resource officers, and certainly that's a part of it. But in many cases, we especially value the relationships they build with our students. And in many cases, a student's go-to adult may be one of our SROs. We've often talked about the fact that's just another adult on campus that kids can build a relationship with, and again, another resource. Up next, we have a view of the future. If you've ever attended this game in September, we welcomed hundreds of youth football players and cheerleaders to Alumni Stadium prior to the kickoff of one of our varsity football games. Up next, South Elementary. In September, they welcome first responders, fire, and police to their campus for a tribute to those who lost their lives on September 11, 2001. This is another one of those events that I would encourage everyone to attend at least one time. Very, very special. Up next, this was amazing. This was the first year we've had this. Our firefighters visiting our elementary buildings. They were there to teach students about fire safety and to read with them. I had the opportunity to be there for the first visit at Central, and it was truly amazing. And the kids were so excited, but the best part that I didn't realize at the time what was really going to happen, they were explaining to the kids about the fact that they should never be afraid of them when they see them in all of their gear. So they were completely geared up. And I hadn't really thought about it, but I guess it's very common in a fire for kids to be scared when they see a firefighter come into the house with all of that gear on. So that was one of the most important messages of that visit that they made. Again, and I say it once, said it a million times, very thankful for the relationship that we have with our first responders. Up next, celebrating our National Merit semifinalists, we had 4 of them: Ian Fites, Anthony Gerlich-Orr, Quentin Jarrett, and Owen Crawley, among the less than 1% of U.S. high school seniors to achieve that recognition. Up next, we have West Elementary Fun Run. They had a fundraiser. They raised $13,000, their PTC. At the $6,000 mark, head custodian Danny Price was pied in the face. At the $8,000 mark, assistant principal Kyle Chambers ate a bug, which, if you remember a couple years ago, we also ate some critters over there at West at a board meeting. So I don't know what it is about West and eating things, but. And then at $10,000, Mrs. Mueller was slimed. So I also want to take this opportunity to thank all of our PTC representatives across the district who worked so hard to raise money for our students and our staff members, playgrounds, sound systems, signs. There's no way that we could do what we do without them and their support. Alumni Spotlight. Caden's already been mentioned once this evening. So when he was a student, we referred to him as Mr. Perfect for earning a perfect ACT score. Last fall, we were notified by the College Board that he was one of 2 students worldwide to earn a perfect score on the AP Physics 2 exam. So again, I will repeat that, one of 2 students worldwide. That is amazing. So congrats to Caden. Up next, and most of you will remember this, I've been taking our Board of Education meetings on the road, so that was last September. We were excited to have our board meeting there at Central, and we had several student teachers from Central teaching our board members about the new literacy program. Up next, we have FHS Royalty. One of my favorite weeks, former high school principal. I mean, it's exhausting. Dr. Rice can speak to that, but it's so much fun to be here and to be in the community. So here you see some pictures of the homecoming court in last fall of 2023. Up next, we have our own All-American track superstar, Crossroads Middle School student Marion Sissy Davis competed at the Junior Olympics last summer in Iowa and was named an All-American. So congratulations, Sissy. Up next, we have South Elementary earning the silver status. We've talked about that. Ohio Department of Education and the PBIS network recognizing schools and districts for the quality of their programs and fidelity to PBIS implementation. So as I said, South earned the silver status, and I believe that they are going for gold this year. I know Mr. Crapo works closely with them, and I've been told that is a huge challenge to get to the gold level, so we're excited for South. All right, more homecoming pictures again. I don't know, I'm biased, but I just can't, it's just the best here in Fairfield. The pep assembly, to the parade, to the dance, the last couple of years being held outside under the stars. Just a fantastic weekend to be here in Fairfield. All right, up next, this is another one of my favorites. I love those bright colors too. The district was notified that our very own community food pantry was running very low on food. And they told us specifically it was soup and peanut butter, and what was the other one? Mac and cheese?
Mac and cheese.
Yeah, not jelly. Some people at the office got confused and brought in jelly. I guess it was the peanut butter. But, as soon as we were told about that, I thought, wow, this is a great opportunity. I know it was in the fall, I think, and the back to school bash, I feel like we just get so much support from the community to do that. And I thought we should, instead of just telling the community, hey, they're running low on food over there at the food pantry, why don't we do a massive food drive? And so we started it at the administration building. And of course, a lot of people over there really get into competitions. And so they wanted to have a competition, so that's what we did. It's really not about winning or competing. It's really about, bringing in the supplies there. There's really no need to talk about which department won that competition, but I will say that first place lunch was delicious. So after we did that, all of our schools followed suit, and I think there's a slide later on. But again, it's my favorite because once again it shows just what a tight-knit community we are. and just how we always manage to take care of each other. Up next, speaking of making a difference and volunteering, one of our very own board members, Scott Clark, was recognized, chosen by the Fairfield Chamber of Commerce to receive a Community Volunteer Award. So in addition to this board, Fairfield Rotary, Prevention Coalition, the Chamber of Commerce, the YMCA, the Parks and Rec Committee, I'm sure there are others. Those are just a few. So honestly, I don't know how he does it, but all of us know why he does it. He loves our community and has a passion for service, and our district is very fortunate to be on the receiving end of his desire to serve. Thank you. So congrats, Scott.
Thank you.
North Gives Back, again, they had a staff member there who was looking for a project, so they also launched their food drive as a service project as well for the Fairfield Food Pantry. And by the way, the food pantry, they were ecstatic. We got just the nicest thank you from them. They were so thankful, and we were thankful to help them out. This next one, hot off the press at Compass, last fall, second graders at Compass learned how to use technology to create their very own newspaper. First edition included topics on Guatemala, fall, Thanksgiving food, baseball, Minecraft, and cheerleading. Up next, FHS Grad Pays It Forward. Students in Mr. Etter's class here at the high school had the opportunity to have a visit from 2021 FHS graduate, Peter Wu. Peter returned to the high school to talk to current students about college life, engineering majors, and the OSU engineering program. He actually serves as the hometown student ambassador for the Ohio State University engineering program. So it's nice to see one of our very own coming back to pay it forward. Up next, we have Neighborhood Bridges launching. Some of you are probably very familiar with them, and I'm going to use this opportunity this evening to advertise for them because they are they want to bridge communities with schools and providing basic needs, removing barriers. So long story short, it's a tool to help our students and our families. So anyone in the community, if you're interested in opportunities to help people and families, you can follow them on Facebook. Once you follow them, those opportunities will pop up on your page. And there are a lot of needs here in our very own community. Up next, we have the Purple Monkey Project Teacher of the Year from Compass Elementary, teacher Kim Prather. Her principal, Mrs. Lambert, had this to say about Kim. She is that teacher who finds importance in meeting the needs of the whole child, buying snacks to keep in her room for kids who are hungry, making individual connections with parents so that they feel heard and supported. So congrats to Kim. Up next, we have Fairfield continuing to lead the fight. Each year, the freshman school transforms into a carnival-like atmosphere with games, refreshments, and tributes to family and friends who lost their fight. This year, that event brought students and staff together to spread awareness and raise money to help the families of 2 classmates at the freshman school battling cancer. So this is another one of events that I would encourage everyone to attend at least one time, and it is yet another example of the Fairfield family taking care of each other. Up next, excited to celebrate our middle school students for being selected for the Junior Cincinnati Youth Wind Ensemble, a program of the Cincinnati Conservatory of Music Prep Department at the University of Cincinnati. This ensemble is made up of the top middle school musicians from the entire Cincinnati area. So once again, our students representing. And I promise you, up next, this is not the Clark family show, but they just happen to have 2 of the coolest things that have occurred since we started back in August. So Carly Clark received the Jenny Finch Empowerment Award during Game 2 of the World Series. So give that award given to someone who exemplifies great individual qualities, both on and off the softball field, of a young female who is a scholar, humanitarian, and an athlete. A huge congrats to Carly on this amazing recognition. So there you see her at the World Series. And I think That may be Scott, like way up
Way,
there.
yeah, it was way up top.
Second row from the top.
I had an oxygen tank on.
Up next, we have guest speaker at Creekside. So we often talk about our focus on mental health and the whole child. So as a result of our focus on that important work, Creekside welcomed guest speaker Kevin Hines. He talked about suicide prevention, the importance of mental health, and always asking someone, are you okay, or I need help now, which sounds so simple, but yet sometimes isn't said. So as a district, very proud of the work we've done and will continue to lead in this area. Up next, we have the EL soccer game, which is a really cool thing as well. Each year it's hosted at the Christy Dennis Soccer Stadium. As that population grows, so does this event. So this year they had more than 40 students participate. Each year, employees and other students from all across the district show up to support their former or current students. And again, this is another example of our staff members going above and beyond to serve students and to make our district a great place for kids. State report card update. I know I keep saying these are my favorites, but I have a lot. So when we received our state report card, we had so much to celebrate. We were excited to see 3 of our schools, Central, North, and South, earned 4.5 total stars, which means they exceeded state standards and expectations. In addition, every school in the district earned at least 3 stars, which means that all of our buildings are meeting state expectations and standards. As a district, as a whole, we earned 3.5 stars, which falls between meeting and exceeding expectations. And as we've said in the past, we earned the most stars of any of what we call the bigs in Butler County. This year, we shared that title with Lakota. But that means we've been at the top in terms of total number of stars on a report card with those big, large districts in Butler County for 2 consecutive years, and we are extremely proud of that work. Up next, I'm talking about some STEM grants. Several teachers at Central and Compass recognize the fact that their students love the STEM lab and love to build, collaborate, and solve problems with their classmates. So they applied for and received $7,500 in grant money aimed at increasing experiences in STEM instruction. So after they created the lab, they noticed a significant increase in student engagement, motivation, and interest in learning. Up next, we talk about how our students and staff give back. In this case, the American Legion gave back to our music students at Creekside by making a generous donation of $1,000 to the Fairfield Tempo Club for use by the Creekside Music Department. And then we have FCSD honoring our veterans. So as a district, we're so proud to honor all veterans across the district. A lot of events and ceremonies. Creekside members of the VFW Post 1069 were present for a ceremony and breakfast. In addition to the high school hosting a flag garden, the Creekside Middle School Tribal Council also sponsored a flag garden as well. And then lastly, the district hosted a veterans luncheon for all of our employees who have served our country. Up next, this is, I love this, FCSD Financial Boot Camp. Very proud of the partnerships that we've established over the years, and our partnership with our group and Butler Tech resulted in an amazing opportunity for our students, a financial boot camp that served approximately 500 students. So during this event, students learned about topics such as investments, credit scores, budgeting, and saving. So I'm very excited about this event and hopeful that it will expand in the future. Up next, we were thrilled to announce that 4 of our elementary schools, Compass, North, South, and West, were recognized as a best elementary school in Ohio by the U.S. News and World Report. So according to the U.S. News and World Report, these schools are high achieving and have succeeded at educating all of their students. Up next, we have FHS band marches at our elementary schools. So here you see some pictures of our marching band performing at some of our elementary schools. So you may or may not know that, our marching band numbers have suffered since coming out of the COVID years. So recently, some of us met with Mrs. Wilhelm to talk about how can all of us work together to get those numbers back up. How can we start to build back up to where they were pre-COVID? And as you can see from the presentation, and I'm a huge believer in music education. I don't need to expand on that presentation, but that beautifully captured exactly why they were here this evening. That was one of the things we identified. I said, would you like to come to a board meeting and present to the board and to the community? That's why they performed in our elementary schools, so that the kids could see them when they came out. And I was there at South when they did it. And it was really, really cool to see them playing, and the kids were all coming out to get on their buses and just looking in awe at the high school kids performing. But if you start to see some things that you've never seen before, we're doing that with a purpose. And we like to build our music program back up to what it was pre-COVID. So super excited to see those results over the next several years. Up next, on November 30th, the Board of Education approved the first resolution to place an operating levy on the ballot. And then at the next meeting, the board approved the second resolution required to place a levy on the March 19th ballot. So obviously, while we cannot advocate for the passage of a levy, we can encourage our entire community to educate themselves about the facts in regard to the school district's finances. So as a result, we encourage everyone to go to our website. From our website, people are able to access factual statements, watch board meetings, financial forecasts, etc. There's a lot of information on the website. Up next, we were excited to celebrate so many of our very own students selected to participate in the OMEA District 13 Honor Bands and Honor Jazz Bands. Over 1,000 students auditioned, and to have so many Fairfield students chosen is truly an honor. So you can see all those names out of 1,000 students auditioning. Up next, very excited, and happens to be here this evening, excited to celebrate Devin Duncan for receiving the OPPA, Ohio Prevention Professionals Association Youth Prevention Excellence Award. Devin received this award for exemplifying excellence in prevention. Well done, Devin. Take a picture. You better take it fast before you miss it.
Did you get it?
I got my picture.
You're doing a great job, Mrs. Lang. Thank you. And then our last slide, in case you're wondering, we start at the beginning of the year and we go through December. So FCSD celebrates Board of Education member Belina Shorter. So during our last meeting, we were excited to celebrate and recognize Mrs. Shorter. She served on the board for more than 14 years and was a passionate advocate for students in public education. She received a proclamation from the school district as well as Fairfield Township trustees Michael Birding and Joe McAbee. Well done, Belina. I'm sure she's watching, or she will be watching. So in conclusion, believe that? In conclusion, how about that? I believe the state of our district is strong. I say it all the time. It's strong because of people. Staff members, parents, community members. I'll get to the board in a few minutes. Everyone working together to do what is in the best interest of students. We have faced many challenges. We know that we will continue to face many more. However, our goal, we will continue to focus on providing the very best educational experience for every single student who walks through our doors. And that is why Fairfield City School District is such a special place. So in closing, I want to thank the Board of Education for your support and your leadership, because without your support, our folks, our employees, it wouldn't be possible for us to do what we do for our kids every single day. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Great job, Mr. Smith. Thank you for bringing that home. Why don't we, I'm sure everyone's got a comment or two, but why don't we save those until board member comments at the end, and we'll push forward now.
Sounds like a plan.
So next would be